Meeting is being recorded.
Okay, I started recording.
Okay, so I've made some changes. I forgot to do this for the one. From this one. So I changed the blank action to custom. Okay. And so now we are having the custom, the default, the recent, and import.
Okay.
So this is we discussed this one. This is for the default. And of course, as I mentioned yesterday, this is the user is looking for a specific version.
Yep.
And can he select multiples from all versions? I mean, can
No,
we
let
add?
him select from a single version what he needs and then proceed. That's it.
Okay. And from the recent, as we agreed yesterday, that the user will select from recent packages. And this is what I've added. The package name with the version, of course, and user can select from this menu to show the actions inside this package. And again, he'll select and go. And the last one, I don't have any changes for it. So from the beginning, this is the skip button. Nothing changed in here. This is the one for the function box. And again, the skip. The skip will be in all guidance screens.
Yep.
And again, I showed the function attributes once the user drag and drop the component to the function the function to the function box. And it changes to the colors of the start and end buttons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And here I changes the colors of the lines and arrows. Changed mainly changed, but this one I've added the end line to from all functions.
Mm-hmm.
We have nothing. Oh, okay. So this is the template. I created the example you sent me yesterday, but I'm adding other capabilities and requirements. And I've changed the colors of requirements and capability as well as switch it to be the
Very
default
good.
color.
Yeah. Yes.
And you can see here, this is also changes color. I changed the color. This is the one the component or the function that will be inserted by the enrichment. That's the function. Any other functions from the action is depending on it. So I differentiate the color. But,
This is very good. Yep.
But one thing I wanted to ask about, are we going to show all the capabilities or only the capabilities and requirements that have a relationship?
No, like you have it below, right? You could have a component that have a capability requirements just as is. You can show it, but allow us to also link it. So can you just add the...
Okay, so you wanted to create a link, a manual link?
Yeah, they should be able to create a link.
I mean, manual or by enrichment?
I think they should be able to do it by, let's say, I think by both enrichment and manual. I think we should add something where they can link things. Let's put that as the assumption that there's going to be manual linkage is supported as well.
Yeah. But so we need to define the relationship type, like this one. This is hosted. I think we have another types of relationship.
Right, connects to, so the examples I gave you, if you, can you change it to the examples I gave you? Can you go back?
I couldn't change it to because we have different types of functions, so I didn't want it to replace it with my my example. I just only created the capabilities and requirements as the same as this example.
So if you look at the design document where the initial design, right, you have requirements defined and you have also capabilities defined, right? Can you just change, keep one that's hosted on, that's fine, but use one like execute is connected to netconf device using the capability of netconf.
Sorry?
And it's a connects to relationship.
We wanted to create a relationship, a connection, and define the type of this connection. Okay. So
you go to the, what is it, PowerPoint?
The PowerPoint file, yeah.
Yeah, the one that I provided. There's a requirement and capability there.
Okay. This one?
Right. So you see, go up.
Okay.
Okay, you see there's a requirement. The requirement is basically netconf connection, which has a capability of netconf. Okay? And it's connecting to VNF netconf device with the relationship of connects to.
This is replacement of the hosted on?
Hosted on is going to be connects to the relationship. Connects to.
Okay, this one. Okay.
Yep. And then the capability is netconf for the requirement. So go back to your designer client.
Yes. Listen, I'm here.
Okay, it's a little bit slow for me. Okay, so you see the one you have right now from execute to NF account collection?
Yes, the
so,
container and container.
So instead of NF account collection, point it to netconf device.
Yes.
Okay, and change it hosted on to connects to. Not that one, not that one. The from execute. Keep that one as is.
This one?
Yeah.
Connected?
Connects to. And that should point to the green. You see how right now, okay. So what I would like you to do is make the execute a requirement. With an execute, that container should be netconf. And make it red as a requirement.
The execute should be a requirement?
Yes.
And still, it should be still.
The container should be red and it should be netconf. And make it red. Oh, my VPN is about to crash. Okay, it's okay. And then change the circle to be red as well. And then connect it to what you see
have
in
you
that
noticed the arrow direction?
the arrow direction.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's okay.
I'm switching between right to in and out connection direction. I mean, as you can see here, this is the requirement, and it goes out to the capability. I'm sorry, the capability is going to the requirement. That's what I
Go
got
into the
from.
requirement. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yes.
And what you want to do is now, instead of you want to take that connects to, and it's going to go to the requirement. Right now you have endpoint DB there. Change the
So you
endpoint to be
wanted
netcom device.
So you wanted this netcom from the execute to the netcom device, and we will make
Netcom,
it.
it should be a capability though. It should be a capability.
This is the endpoint database
Endpoint DB should be netconf.
again. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, my VPN crashed. I have to let me see if WebEx is still working.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you want to connect to the netconf in netconf device.
That's one will be a requirement. Oh, okay.
And
Sorry, I'm sorry.
execute is the requirement, and endpoint and netconf is the capability. So it's red to blue. Did you make changes? Because I'm not seeing it. Let me give me 1 second. Yeah, I think I need to. Let me reconnect to VPN. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. So you want to
So,
this netconf to the netconf of, yeah?
Yeah, you want to connect it to netconf, correct.
Okay.
And the example you have on hosted on is good. If you like to keep it, please do. It's just another illustration of how this works.
Yeah. Redo the other later.
Okay.
So from the function attribute, once the user add a capability or a requirement, it should be should appear in below the function box.
Right.
This is how we get the capability and requirements.
Yep, this is very good.
Okay. So and then maybe from the function attributes, or maybe the user will do it manually here. There should be this relationship or connection start point or end point. The user can drag from one point to another point by selecting the points he wanted to connect. And another the thing is that he needs to define what connection he wanted to create, a connect to or related to or hosted on, whatever the list of relationship types. That's okay.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Do you want to add more or any definitions or maybe properties for this connection from the view here?
No, I mean, it's right now it's not needed. Those properties, if you want to see them, it can be probably displayed in the right-hand side as part of the function attributes.
Yeah, I have it in here. But, this is should be the function attributes.
Right. So this is just an illustration. This is very good, Sarah. It's exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah, okay. So this is the remaining point we need to discuss.
Yep.
Okay. So you mentioned that there's something we don't need in the screen.
Yeah, I don't think we need workflow. Workflow actions are not necessary in scripting because you cannot drag them into the scripting is like an editor. You can change the file.
Okay, I forgot it. So I'm sorry. The scripting is for the full the packages at all, not for any action. Is it the thing I
Right.
missed? Yeah. Okay. I got it. So I think we can drag it in here. I'm adding on top of this. Yes. Second. This part. Okay, so it will be like this, and I'll expand this the editor.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Okay. And there should uh, maybe like in this example, a definition. But if I select one from this menu, the code should change, huh? Right?
Yeah, your file will display the content of that file.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
The only thing that I'm missing, if I compare this to the old designer client, is that I don't see a way to create a folder or delete a folder.
What
Or
folder?
create a file, create a folder, or delete a file, delete a folder. That's the only thing I don't see. And
So
and
what
before
file
you
and
had
folder?
enrichment function as well. I don't see enrichment. In
But
this one, you may have it in another screen, but in this one, I don't see it.
but the enrichment was for the generic, I think.
Right. So anytime you come to editor, it becomes you support the manual enrichment. So that enrichment is for
Okay.
all use cases in editor mode.
Oh, okay, I see.
Okay. So if you have this, then you don't need the other screen.
What other screen?
The one you just.
Okay. So this one is the same, like the
Yeah.
scripting. I thought that I have to give the user the action list, so it
So
will
in
be
this
different.
screen, the only thing I don't see is like how to add a folder, delete a folder.
I don't get this file and folder point. I don't
So
get it.
right now
What
you
file
have
and folder?
definitions folder, right? And you have
Yes.
file within that definition folder. You have an artifact type JSON file.
Yes.
So if I want to add a new file,
But we are adding these from the package configuration.
no. In the editor screen, I'm able to also create a folder, create files manually.
Okay, so you want it to be maybe in the definition, and you have the option to import a file, and you also have an option to delete it from the list.
Just not even import. I don't want import. Just create a file. That creates a row.
You mean that you can add a file and you just edit in the create and you edit it an empty editor, and the user will fill it with says
Yeah, exact. Copy and
okay.
paste. Okay.
Yeah, I see it.
So so just have a button to add a folder, a new
Yes.
folder, delete a
Mhm.
folder for existing folders, and add
Yes.
files within folders
So
and delete
so
files. That's it.
I can delete file and folder.
Yes, you can.
So I can delete the definition.
Yes.
Okay. For the first time, the user will create a generic scripting, or maybe the scripting. So I'll have an empty list here. I don't have any
Right. It
list.
could be an empty list. They create multiple folders and
I
name it.
mean, I don't have any default folders are already created.
The only way you have default folders created if only you're starting, if you do an import, right? If you do import, you import some package, and that
I
package will
mean,
have,
for the first time, the user is creating a generic script.
for the first time, I guess we can create like a default. Right now we don't do it, but I guess we can. I don't see a reason why not.
I mean, if there is a need to create a default folders,
Yeah, we can create like a default folder and a default JSON file and a scripting folder without any scripts and let them.
like we have in this example, we have a definition folder that contains artifact types and data types and the others. I think that's that are the common files in a package. So if we created them and
So the
generated,
only thing we'll have if it's scripting is Tosca metadata and scripts. That's it. And maybe a template
okay,
folder. No plans, no definitions, none of that.
okay. So
Okay, so we can do that. So do me one favor. So remove the config assign actions from this view. You see on top you have actions.
I'll remove this. I'll replace some elements of this with the other screen.
Okay. And the only thing I'm looking for is just the add folder, delete folder, and add file, delete file. Those are the main things that you want to add here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And your idea of default folder and I think that we can do that as well. Depending on the use case, it could be the structure could be different, but we can probably do something as a default tag.
But they'll be empty or filling with a basic.
Most likely there'll be empty files that the user has to populate.
So the enrichment button should affect the inside files.
Yes, it will render, and new files will be created and returned back to you.
So I think the enrichment is another component or another scenario that we may discuss it later.
Okay.
Okay. So that's all for the things I wanted to discuss it with you today.
Okay, so one more thing. Can you, because I see it's like 92 screens, right? How many? I thought it was like.
I don't have a specific number. I cannot calculate it automatically.
Give me once. I thought I saw a number. 94 screens right now. We have.
Okay.
Do we need that many screens? If you see any duplicates, the only thing I want to ask you is, can you put them in sequence when you upload them? If the sequence, I think you have them probably in the right sequence, like you put them in different folders, right?
Titles. Yeah.
In different sections, so that's good. But the only thing I'm asking, if you can also see if the sequence can be within those sections, can you put them in the right sequence? The sequence you think it makes proper sense.
Okay, I will check the Envision project, and I think I may uploaded them in a different sequence, but let me check.
Because when I see it here, I feel like you might have some duplicates. So if you put them in sequences,
I just the full scenario for any.
Let me show you 1 second.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's a presentation. Okay, so you see here. This is part of, what is this? This is template mapping. Okay, template mapping has designer screens, okay?
Okay, so, okay.
This stuff should not be here, because I know you have them somewhere below.
Yes.
Mode designer, right?
Yeah.
I think you want them in mode designer. So a little bit clean up in that section itself.
Yeah.
And maybe see if it's sequenced the way you want it to be, so that when we review this with with different teams, they understand that, because everything is sequence, okay? You have package list is sequence, okay? Configuration data, metadata. Template is sequence. Just the only thing here is the mode design. I think you want to just take a look if it's proper sequence or not.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Configuration script, yeah. No, this is good.
I ordered them and grouping them correctly.
Okay, that's all I had. I'm gonna send you the recording. Anything else, Sarah?
Do you have anything to discuss with me today?
I don't think so. I mean, I think we'll get some more developers to help implementation. So let me ask you one question. The because the way Ahmed explained it to me, you also are providing the HTML for this?
Yeah.
So do you upload HTML into ONAP, or how's that gonna, for each of these sections?
Actually, I didn't. I'm updating the files, but till now I'm proceeding the UX and UI design for the new requirements. I didn't return to the UI development yet. And as you know, I'll be fully charged for all the steps, so it needs time to go back to the code again.
Okay.
I think once I finish with the designer, I'll be back for the code. But the thing is that we still holding on the testing plan.
You're still what? Can you repeat the last statement?
The testing plan, the usability testing we were discussing.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that
Do you
one more
remember
time?
do you remember the usability testing?
Yes.
Yeah, that the thing that is the second part that we will move forward after the designer.
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
yeah. So going back
So
to
we'll do once you finalize this part, right? We'll do the test of what we have currently, right? Get
there is a
additional
distraction
feedback.
with the new revise.
Right. And then we'll start the coding, right? That's the phase.
Yuri, I miss what you said.
Okay. So the current plan is that we finish the designer client design.
Yes.
That's what you're doing right
Yeah.
now. Then we do the test usability
I think
testing.
it will end by tomorrow. Yes. But before we testing I am testing from my side first.
Right, you'll test on your side first, okay? And
Yeah.
then once you finish your testing, we'll do usability testing with me and Abdel first, and then with the Dutch Telecom folks and Bell folks.
Did you define the users we will do the testing with them?
I provided you some users, right?
Yeah, but I think provided me only.
So Pradnesh from Bell, myself from AT&T, and I have some Dutch Telecom users, Andreas and Marek, and a few other names I sent you.
Oh, okay, so you have other. Okay, but I don't know what who's an old user or a new user or from the list.
Oh, all of these are new users. We don't really have old users because the old users are gonna they're a different team and they're allocated to a different workspace now.
Okay.
So most of these are going to be just new users.
But I think we need to. I only have you, I think, as an old user.
No, we have Marek, Pradmesh, Andreas, and a few other names, and Andreas gave. Say it again.
As a designer or self-service onboarding?
Self-service onboarding, we had Steve Katz.
Okay.
From AT&T.
I have the list here. This is the list I got from you. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm not sharing my screen. Sorry. Okay.
So Steve Katz, yes, Pradmesh, Abdul, Andreas.
So these but these are the self-service.
Oh no, there's one email. There's one more email I sent out. Andreas replied.
I need to review.
Okay, so self-service is Andreas, Lena, and Marek. So do you see it? It's from 311. 311? Oh, let me forward this to you. 1 second.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I forward to you orange email.
Gmail?
Orange email.
Yeah. So Andrea and Lina and Mark from the self-service,
Right,
and these
and
are
these are
an old user
DT.
for
These are everybody is new because DT is new. The only old user you have is me.
okay from the from the self-service and designer. But I think
Yes.
Abdul is an old user from
No,
the
Abdul
designer.
is new. When you say
Um,
old, what do you mean by it? Because the old means the prototype work we did, or do you
no.
mean the own app, client that we have?
Yes. I mean the only app, the one
Oh,
currently
okay.
running.
All right. So old users are basically me and Abdel and Andreas. Those are
From the
the old
designer?
users of the client. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And then everybody else is going to be a new user.
Sorry, who's two from an old user? Yuri, Saudi, and who else?
And Andreas.
Okay.
Okay,
So
and
I
for
think let's
self-service
move.
as well, it's the same names.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So you are designing and you are guiding people for how to do, and you are guiding yourself for how to
Yes.
use the. Okay.
Yes, that's correct. That's the role of Bill and I. But that's on the old users.
I'm sorry. Okay. So I
Old
think we
users.
don't have any old users for the self-service. I think that you don't have any other roles
So
you are doing. The thing I understand from the self-service team that they are guiding the designers how to use the application, right?
that's right.
So
Or
you are
sometimes
guiding
they,
yourselves.
on behalf of the client, will do the onboarding themselves.
Okay. Okay.
So they play two roles. It's to speed up this process. That's the thing.
Okay, I think I can merge the tasks and questions of the two roles. So, and the new user will be Steve,
Steve
the
Katz.
designer. Yeah. Okay.
For designer, it's gonna be Andreas gave you. Hold on, no, it's not. Steve Katz is not designer. Andreas gave you.
The email.
He gave Steve. I don't know which Steve is that. That's not Steve Katz. That's some other Steve.
And we have Andreas.
Yes.
Okay.
So he gave Steve. But put Steve DT, so we know it's Dutch Telecom Steve.
DT. What DT?
Dutch Telecom. Steve DT for Dutch Telecom. Oh, put Dutch Telecom. Okay, put Perdmesh as well in here.
As a
Okay,
new
so
user
just
as a
you can
designer.
put Andreas, Lena, and Merrick. Put DT next to them. Okay.
Okay.
So that you know these are DT Dutch Telecom users. Okay. Put also myself here. And
Designer, but you are here for as an old user.
no. For my name, put AT&T. For Yuri, AT&T.
Okay.
Abdel, put Orange. You want to add Pradmesh?
Orange. Andreas from where?
DT.
Okay. And this is 2. Okay. So, and for the self-service,
Andreas
I
gave
think,
you some names. Andreas, Lena, and
yeah,
some other.
Andrea. So, okay, so I think we have the same users, so we will have 7 users to do the usability test with.
Abel might give more people. Can you do me a favor? Can you send out this set of information to us, and maybe reply in that email? And I want to just make sure that we.
So I'll send you. I don't think so, but from what I see now that you're only the users of the current on app.
Yes. What was the question?
I mean that is there any
Any other users?
Yes,
For old users?
The current on app.
Oh, the current owner? It's mainly Andreas, Pradmesh. It's the folks I provided here.
Okay. And you'll still be the new user.
Right.
The thing is that I need new users who didn't see the prototype or get to know any idea about the new design.
Right. So Andreas is here, right?
Okay, but Andreas is an old user too. You mentioned that Andreas is an old user.
You can remove him from old users. That's okay. Remove.
But
yeah.
he didn't have the chance to get to look of any of the designs.
He did not see the new design. Okay, he may have.
Go ahead. Clarify this point. I wanted users who are already using the current on app, and they don't have any clue about the new designs, or didn't get the chance to see the prototype or the new designs. So they will give me their first impression of the designs, of the look, or the experience. So that's the thing.
Steve Katz, all the DT people, Steve Katz, okay?
Yes.
Those will be the primary ones.
Yes. So it'll be from the self-service or our designer?
He'll be from self-service.
Can be a self-service or yes. the vice versa. Okay.
Steve Katz is self-service.
Okay.
Andreas, take him out from the new user, but although he did not see the screen, he can give you first expressions as well. He's a new user as well, you know, like, because he never seen the prototype.
Yeah. Andreas?
Yep.
As a
Andreas is a new user because he never seen the prototype.
Okay. So I'm of course not. And okay.
And Andreas had some other people. So Lena Merrick, you can also put. He had the same set of names. Yeah. So maybe you can remove Andreas from that.
Multiple Andreas?
No, it's the same Andreas.
Okay.
So Andreas never seen the new prototype. Pratt didn't see the new prototype. So there are people who haven't seen. Steve Katz never seen the prototype.
Okay. Brett, self-service.
He's going to be self-service and also designer.
I think we can exclude Andreas from the designer. We have him
Okay.
from the service as long as we. I think we're good from, but he's still as an old user of the designer.
I think
Okay.
he did see I think he used the old GUI. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he did use it, but I don't. That's why I put him there. I believe he did use it. If you want, I can reply to the email and find out.
So I think we still need one more user from the old service onboarding. Or I think we can keep it with Yuri, but Yuri, I think we need. I cannot add you as a user, an old user, as long as you have seen the current one, so you get to know the new idea of our designs. So I'll execute you from the list as a users, but you still be a user for the tests, but in different way, as long as you
Sure,
have.
sure.
Yeah. So I think we need another member.
You need another member where?
The self-service and the designers.
As a
We
new,
can have a one member for both.
as a new
An
or
old,
old?
an old. No, no, I old. We have
Old.
we have number of new users. Well, we are good for the new. I mean for the old.
So right now you have me, Abdul, and Andreas for the old, right?
Mm,
And you want to remove me?
I Yuri, you have the full vision of the new designer, and that's the thing that I wanted to. This is I will discuss with you from your current perspective. You
Okay,
know the
so
designs, but I won't. He don't know.
okay, so why don't we put what your request is? You want an old user for both self-service and network design, correct?
Yes, yes, but old user means that they didn't see the current designs.
They didn't see the
The
current
current the
design.
new design.
What if
New
I
design.
give you an old user that haven't seen like for
The new
example,
design.
Steve Katz, okay? He's an old user.
Okay.
He never seen the old design, and he didn't see the
Yes.
new
Yes.
design.
Okay. Yeah. So he can be both, and he's an old. But the thing is that you mentioned before that there will be another team that will use the new designer. So that's why I mentioned that we need someone who the new user will be people who didn't use the old designs and never seen the new designs. So that's why I'm differentiating between the old and the new users.
Right, and that's why I'm saying the only people that have used the old design so far is probably Andreas, Abdul, and myself for
Okay.
ONAP.
So Andreas won't be a new user.
Okay, but also Andreas
Steve.
never seen the new
Yes.
design.
Yes.
Okay, so just
I want all of the users that never seen the designs.
okay. They didn't see the old
All of
design
you.
or the new design. Okay, good.
Uh, the old design, the old user. Okay, let me get started from the beginning. Let me write it
You can
down.
put a definition of the new user. New user hasn't seen the old design and new design. Old user has seen the old design.
Users. Use old design. Okay. Never. The old design. users, user current and again they never saw the.
So let me just clarify. They never seen the new design, or they never used the new design, like from a. Because maybe I showed them the prototype, but they haven't done any actual, creation of the package using the new tool.
So, what stage did they see the new design?
Say that again.
At what stage they saw the new design?
So they saw maybe the templates creation, the mapping file creation, right? Because initially I showed it to some folks that gave me some feedback around saying, is this what they are looking for? Or they understood the concept.
Okay.
Right. So they have seen something, right? They see now. I can say maybe like 80% of it, right? Nothing to do with the new work you're doing on Workflow Designer.
So did you get any feedback from them?
Oh yeah, I mean the feedback I'm sharing with you is coming from, not just from me. It's also coming from my team.
Okay. So let's cover maybe 15%, 50% of.
50%, sure. Because like Steve Katz, I haven't shared anything with him, or maybe I have. Maybe no. Steve Katz probably saw 50% of it. Mm-hmm. Most of my team, I showed something, right? There's from let's say Marek and Lena and Steve, I haven't shared anything. From Dutch Telecom, Pratmesh probably hasn't seen anything, but AT&T team has seen something.
Okay, so that's good. Okay, so let's keep the list as we got so far, and I think we don't need any other users.
Okay, let's start off with this.
Yes, it will be a good start. So again, I'll make the changes, and after that I'll get back to my test for matching the designs and then the development, and then we can start the usability tests. And the other thing is I wanted to know the status of it. When can we start the UI development from my side for other screens?
Can you repeat that again? When we can start the UI development for what?
From my side, for the other screens.
For which screens?
The other components and the features we have and creating the package.
I mean, there's nothing stopping us from doing development except, so right now I know the IBM team is trying to bring up the application. They had some struggles with it, and Shaban was helping with them. Okay, so you can contribute to master. There's nothing Frankfurt is out there already. There's a branch for Frankfurt. You can contribute to master. Master, we can cherry pick things from master to Frankfurt if necessary. So everything there's nothing that's blocking us from contribution. So
do you have any other members who are waiting for
So I do have from Bell Canada. I was informed there's about 10 developers that are coming. Not all 10 of them will be working on the UI, but maybe we'll get 4 or 5 developers. I'm gonna try to see if they can contribute to the UI.
Do you mean what do you mean with the UI?
Whatever we need to tackle, right? Finished package creation, designer screens, configuration management, data dictionary. If I get 10 developers, then I'll meet with Shaban, yourself, and the team to come up with a plan of what we want to tackle.
Yeah, okay, sure. That's what
Okay, because right now we lost Ahmed. I think Shaban is going to support some testing. But we haven't done anything new, and you're working on the completion of the designer, because I want to make sure the designer is complete, because once the design is complete, we have a view of what we want to achieve forward, right? Then we can kick off the new development cycle.
Yes. Yuri, I think I'm done.
Very good, Sarah. Thank you again for making this time, and we'll talk again. I'll send out the recording as soon as it's available. Bye-bye.